Love and Light. It's your girl, Kim Martin Raymond, host of the How Now podcast, where we talk about how to live in the now. And I am back for day 15 of my post-op breast reduction surgery. So I want to come back in and just check in with you guys. The last time that we spoke, I was in my car. I told you I had made a little venture out just to go and run an errand, and then decided to come back and not, take things a little bit easy. And now here it is. I am 2 weeks in a day post-op, and just wanted to kind of catch you up on what's going on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to segue to, letting you all see my result and talk a little bit about, some of the things that I do, once I take my shower, in preparation for getting ready for the day. But before I did that, just wanted to talk about what I've been experiencing so far. Have not had any pain, minimal pain. I think it was at day 4 where I stopped taking any type of medication. I took the oxycodone for the first day, and then I stopped taking that, and I started a 6-hour regimen of taking Tylenol. And then by day 4, I stopped completely. And so, I've not had much pain at all. And I don't know whether that's a result of me having the abdominoplasty and the folliculectomy last year, because I had that December 5th of 2022. And, of 2022. And I think, I'm still having some numbness due to that. Because one thing is, when you have these surgeries, they say it could take 6 months to a year before you see your final result and before you are fully recovered. However, that's for people who tend to be in their early 30s, or late 30s, early 40s. I am a little bit of an anomaly there because I am 53 years old, and so it takes a little longer. The elasticity in our skin is not as resilient as those who are younger than we are. So, they told me that it could take me a year to a year and a half before I see my final results and before I'm fully recovered. So, December 9th of this year made 1 year post-op from my abdominoplasty and my folliculectomy. And again, that's where they did an incision straight vertically, and they did one horizontally. And so, diagonally, not diagonally, you hear me, diagonally, to go across for the folliculectomy, vertically for the abdominoplasty. And so again, they took off a total of 8 pounds of excess skin off of my abdomen. And so, yes, I still have minimal sensation in my stomach area. It feels a little numb. Okay, and you have to be so careful. And this is where it comes to, making sure that you educate yourself about things that are going on with your body, because you can really send yourself into a tailspin if you're not careful. I was feeling a lot of numbness still in my stomach, and then all of a sudden I started to panic a little bit. I was like, do I have stomach paralysis? So then I started researching that, and then I was like, okay, no, I don't have that. Just have to be careful. Make sure that you're listening to your body, yes, but if there's something that you're not sure of, research it first and then go back and ask your physician about it, okay? Otherwise, you will, give yourself all kinds of anxiety for no reason. So be careful about that. So, like I said, I'm still having some numbness there. So, numbness, a whole lot of water retention. Anytime I eat anything that has salt or sugar content in it that may be a little higher than normal, I feel like I swell up like no other. So that's something that you have to watch out as well. Be careful about your diet. Speaking of which, I have in these 2 weeks probably gained about 8 pounds. Am I bugging out about it? Absolutely not. Okay. Do I know why? Yes. Because I have, I'm a certified holistic nutritionist, and so I've learned about eating and what food does when it enters our body and how our bodies process it. So I understand what's happening. But the long and the short of it is, right before I had the surgery, during Thanksgiving, I ate and I nined, okay? I ate good, okay? I didn't go overboard, but I ate things that I typically don't eat in my normal diet. And so, yes, as a result of that, you're going to get some water retention. That's why it's so important to know that you can eat certain things, but make sure that you get right back on track the next day, if not the next meal. You don't have to blow the whole day. Just go in, eat what you're going to have a little bit of what it is that you had. Okay, I love me some dressing, stuffing, whatever you call it. I had some cranberry sauce. I love cranberry sauce. I had a little bit of mac and cheese. Actually, I made some vegan mac and cheese and it was delicious. And so, have a little, don't go overboard, and that's it. Okay? But there were a couple of other little special things that came in right there at that Thanksgiving time. Like, what was it? Baskin Robbins did that. I don't remember what it was called. Some type of turkey surprise. I cannot remember the name of it now for the life of me. So, it doesn't matter. It's over. They had it just for the month of November, and it was a combination of yams, cornbread, and cranberries in the ice cream. I know some of y'all are like, but let me tell you about it. It was delicious. So delicious that I had it 3 different times. Had one, I had them give me 1 scoop, but honey, let me tell you, it was bomb. I loved it, and I ate it. I'm telling you, I looked every single thing. Do I regret it? Absolutely not. So that was the kind of start of the fall. From there, little things, snacky things here and there. The one thing that I noticed, even with my surgery last year and my surgery this year, is that after I had the surgery, I had a bit of a sweet tooth and was just like, I want something sweet. I think because, salty and that water retention and the bloating that came along with that, I guess it turned me away from the salty, but it led me towards the sweet. And that's not necessarily a good thing to do either. You have to find good alternatives, like, get your sugar source from fruits and some from vegetables, and just trying to find alternatives. Okay, but we'll talk about that at another time. I digress because I don't want to take away from this video. But like I said, I was, eating, so I've gained some weight, and I know that some of it is water retention, and as I have gone back to eating the way I normally do, those pounds drop off just as quickly as they came on. Like I said, I've only been 15 days post-op. You don't gain that much weight in that short amount of time, and it stays with you unless you consistently eat the way that you're eating, which, if you were eating poorly. Then, of course, those pounds that have the ability to come back off as water can come back on as weight if you continue to eat that same way. Okay, so I know where you're coming from. I'm already on the road going back the other way, so that's good. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to segue into my bathroom so that way you all can see my results and talk to you a little bit about things that I do after I shower. All right, so I'll be back. Hey y'all, I am back, and I am here to show you the results of the breast reduction that I had just 2 weeks ago yesterday. So I'm going to take a little step back so that you can actually see. I was an H cup, and I have been reduced now, according to this surgical bra that I'm wearing, I have been reduced to a 44B/C is what it says. But we won't know the full results of my breast reduction till almost 6 months to a year from now. But that is the bra that they have given me. I have it on the 3rd rung. It has the little eyelets that you have to hook on. Some people choose to use the ones that zip up for ease. I found this to be more comfortable because it's adjustable. It's got 3 different rows that you can choose from, and I have it on the 3rd row, so it's the tightest. It also has the same thing up here at the top. You see, and I have it on the 1st one, but it's got 2 other rows there that I can adjust them to if I want to adjust them up. But they're sitting up the way they're supposed to right now. So this is the surgical bra. Here it is from the side. I still got a little bit of back fat back there because, like I said, I didn't have lipo there. They did lipo under my arms, and so, there's a little bit more of a smoothness there. Okay, and as you can see, I've got a little bit of the scar that you can see from the abdominoplasty that I had last year, but it's very minimal, very minimal. So it is there, and what I wanted to share in this video is the things that I do when I take my shower, and I've been taking a shower since after 48 hours, but as I mentioned in my previous video, my doctor wanted me to keep my steri strips on. Now that's the only concern that I have, okay? Because they're bandages. And so when you wash them, after time, they get almost a smell. I feel like it smells like what a mummy would smell like. Just the bandages are getting a little old, and she said not to remove them unless they came off on their own, and they have not. And so, I just want to make sure that they're not carrying a little bit of an odor. And I don't know if I'm sensitive to it, but I smell it a little bit. So that's a conversation that I'm going to be having with my doctor. Like, can I take these off? Because I don't like that they're carrying a bit of an odor because, they have old blood on it, and it's just been under there. Even though I did not have drains put in, I still have, there's still some blood that was captured under the steri strips. So that's something that I want to remove. But when I do take my shower and I let the water run over me and, cleanse the rest of my body, what I do after that is I use a hair dryer and I just blow underneath here so that way I'm drying and not leaving the steri strips damp, because I don't want to have the padding over it and have it be wet or damp, because I feel like that might cause, not necessarily going to cause mold, but it's just that damp feeling, and I don't want that, and I don't want to have any infection. So what I've been doing is just taking the blow dryer like this, blowing under and around my nipple area, and just blowing so that way the area is dry. And then what I do is I take these combined strips, and I'll put the link for these because I got them from Amazon, and I just take the combined strips. These are 5x9, and what I do is I take 4 of them. See, I have the little line. I open it up completely, and then I put one here, one here, one here, and one here. So they open to 5.59. So they open about that big, and I just put one here and here, and I hold them, and then I wrap the bra around it, and then I hold it. I've got long arms. I put 2 more here, then I wrap this side around, and then what I do is I clip the bottom one first, and then what I do is I make the adjustment. As you can see, I have pads under here. There's one pad. I make sure that it's covering all of the stitching under here, all the way over here, and it's also covering up here to over my nipple. And I just make sure that I adjust it. I put on this first one first. I make the adjustments that I need to make on both sides. Oh, look, I need to make a little adjustment here. Okay, just make sure that it's laying flat and that it's covering the steri strips that are under here. Okay, so make sure that they're covering, and it's going all the way around. See, so it's covering everything. I make the adjustments first, adjust around the bottom here, and then I snap the rest of them up once it's on there. So now everything is there and everything is covered. So that's what I do when I get out of the shower. Then I go about, putting on lotion and everything, avoiding those areas. But like I said, the biggest thing is because I've still got steri strips over the stitching that was done here, the stitching that was done here, and around my areola. All of that area is still covered with steri strips. But like I said, I want to make sure that there's no odor coming from them because they've been on so long. So I'm supposed to be getting them taken off on the 10th of January. And today is the 30th of December. So I still have some time to wear them. So I'm going to be speaking with my doctor probably prior to that and asking her if it's okay for me to take them off. But the biggest thing is to make sure that we're reducing the amount of infection. So this is what things look like now. And now we'll switch back so that way we can talk a little bit more about my experience so far in this day 15 post-op from my breast reduction surgery. See you in a minute. Alrighty, I am back. And like I said, you got to see my result. I'll put the link for additional surgical bras that I bought through Amazon, so that way you can see the bras that I've used, because they just give you the one. Typically everybody gets them in white, and when I saw mine I was like, ooh, mine is black. Okay, but you want to be able to change it out, of course. And so I bought two different styles, and like I said, that's a challenge because you don't know what your cup size is, but you get that kind of sports bra or kind of bra that has that zipper in the front or has the latches in front of it. So I will put in the description the ones that I purchased, the ones that I'm using, and they both have worked fine, and I got them in an extra large. And if you do, most of them, when you go into Amazon, they will give you the measurements for them. So just go in, you may have to have someone assist you in measuring around the lower part of your breast and across your nipple area, and then that will let you know what size you should get. So it's not going to be a cup size per se. It's just going to be large, small, medium, large, extra large, etc. So make sure that you check in with those. And so I have those bras. I'll put those in the description. I'll put the description for the pads that I use underneath my surgical bra, so that you'll have those as well, because it's going to be important that you keep it covered. Everything is about, at this point, making sure that you are not having any type of infection, that you're not having issues with the stitching or having anything, like I said, like a seroma or hematoma, and that's where you're having excess fluid in those areas. Now, I noticed even when I had my surgery last year that a couple of days after my surgery, I had so much water retention. I felt like the faja that I was wearing, the garment that I was wearing, was so tight. I was like, I can't breathe. And so I contacted my surgeon, because I was like, something is wrong, and I wanted to make sure that, even though it is expected that you're going to have some water retention and things like that, that it's not in excess, and that it's not something where they have to go in and drain that extra fluid. So she had me come in. It was not a hematoma or a seroma. So, but she was prepared. What they do is they do almost like an ultrasound, and they run that little ball. If you're a female and you've had children and you've gone in to have an ultrasound, they ran the little device over my stomach, and they did not see any excessive amount of fluid. If they would have taken the needle, they insert the needle into your abdomen, and they extract that extra fluid out, because it's not something that should stay in your body. So again, you're making sure that any changes to your body, if you're not certain or clear about them, contact your surgeon, contact your primary care physician, so that way you're clear on what's going on. Everything is about being in a space of preventing anything from happening. So if you know your body and you notice changes, say something about it, because if it's something that they can catch before it gets to an emergent space, then let them do that. Okay? Never be afraid to ask questions about your body. Never ignore or discount something. If something is bothering you and it feels unusual, or especially if it's causing any type of pain, then you want to make sure that you are not harming yourself in any way. Okay? So make sure that anything that's different, any changes, write them down and share them with your physician. Okay, that's something that's important. Make sure that you do that. Then let me see. I have not really had a whole lot of pain. Like I said, you may have a little. You'll notice some itchiness. I've noticed some itching in the incision areas, especially under my underarms, because you're going to have some swelling there too. I almost feel like my breasts were in a headlock under my arms, because I could feel them under my arms a little bit. And that's to be expected too. And that goes down a little bit. But I just noticed a little bit of discomfort there because of the lipo that they did under my arms to remove some of the fat, that the mammary gland fat that was right underneath my arm and right to the sides of my breast. So they do that. They didn't, you'll have a little discomfort there. But other than that, I have not had any extreme pain. Again, you want to be careful about lifting your arms over your head, lifting anything more than 10 pounds. Okay? See this head? Even though it's a big 5 head, it's a hard head sometimes too. Okay? And so I have to be careful, because I'm one of those people, when I go shopping, I'm only making one trip from the car. Okay? I'm going to carry every single bag. And if I got to tie them on the tips of my locks, I'm going to tie them on my locks. I'm only making one trip. So I have to be careful about making sure that I don't carry things. So I have been, you know, asking my husband and my daughter to help me to carry things so that I don't get out of pocket with that. Okay, and that leads me to my exercise. You know, they tell you cannot exercise fully to your regular capacity until 4 to 6 weeks after your surgery. That's a killer for somebody like me who exercises every single day. Okay, but the one thing that I do, and as I've mentioned before, I have spinal stenosis, so I have to be very careful. That's a pinched nerve in your back, and what it can do is it can cause your legs to feel like pins and needles, both of them, not just one, like some people were thinking initially it was sciatica that I had, but it is spinal stenosis, and so it pinches that nerve, and then what it does is it'll pinch the nerve, and then, like I said, it feels like pins and needles. And if I walk for a extended period of time, that pins and needles feeling intensifies till it's extremely uncomfortable. So I have to be careful about walking extended periods of time. But as you know, when you have surgery, you're supposed to walk 15 minutes every couple of hours to avoid blood clots. And so I have a portable treadmill, and I walk on that for 15 minutes. But if I'm noticing that my legs are giving me trouble that particular day, because it doesn't happen every single day, it doesn't happen consistently. So sometimes I'm okay to walk on that treadmill for 15 minutes, at its lowest pace. And I was walking with that, and that was fine. I also have an elliptical recumbent bike, and I can put that in the link below as well. And it's like an elliptical runner where you move your arms and your legs, but it's in a seated position, so you're not putting as much pressure. It's not like a bike where you're pedaling this way. It's more like you're pedaling this way. And so what I do is I get on my recumbent bike. I do not use the arms, of course, because they tell you not to do anything to that upper part of your body. And I just, on the lowest resistance, just pedal on that for 15 minutes every couple of hours. So I've been doing that, and that has been okay. And I have definitely cleared that with my doctor. But it's painful when you're a person who exercises every day and then you can't exercise the way you want to. I do a lot of strength training. As you get older, a lot of people will tell you, or if you research, you'll see that it's more important for you to do the strength training than it is the cardio. So prior to my surgery, I was lifting 25 pounds. Okay, I have a piece of equipment in my home gym where I can, lift up and down this way. I can push out, in and out straight. I can hook my feet around and lift my legs up. So it's a whole little system. It's got the little butterfly thing. It's got all of that. And I do 25 pounds, and I usually do about 30 minutes on that every day. And so, that I think has been instrumental in my recovery being as smooth as it's been so far, because I made sure that I strengthened my body so that my body was in a good condition to heal once I had the surgery. And that's going to be something important too. You'll realize that as you get older, and as you start having procedures that need to be done, or if something comes up emergent, you want to be in the best shape that you can be in, or the best condition. If you'll notice, sometimes there are people who will have surgeries and they'll say, oh, in order for us to do this surgery, you have to lose 30 pounds, or in order for you to have this knee replacement surgery, you have to be 25, 30 pounds, smaller than you are. So, begin to start doing the things that you need to do to keep your body in good shape, so that if something like this happens, if you have to have a surgery, whether it be voluntary or whether it be an emergent situation, that your body is in the best condition. COVID is still out there. People are still taking ill to that. The flu, pneumonia, all kinds of things. You want your blood pressure, your blood sugar, all of those things to be in a good place, so that way your body has the best chance of fighting it. And it's not that you get in an emergent situation and they can't perform a life-giving surgery that they need, or a life-saving surgery, because your body is not in its best shape. You want to give yourself a fighting chance. And that's something that, I want people to keep in mind as they are having these voluntary surgeries or any type of surgery that has to take place. Make sure that you are in the best condition that you can be in, because that is definitely going to help you in the healing process. So make sure that you do that. That has really been, I have to say, my saving grace in recovering the way that I have. But again, I have to be careful, make sure that I'm following my doctor's orders, and they are to not lift anything above 10 pounds for 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, I also travel for work, and so I have to be cleared. I have to travel in a couple of weeks, actually, and I have to be cleared by my doctor to be able to travel. And if she says I'm grounded, then I'm grounded. So it's making sure that you're doing what you need to do, so that way that healing process happens more quickly. And she's already told me, she says, I'm more than likely going to clear you to fly because you're doing really well with your recovery process. So make sure that you do that. That's something that I definitely want to put out there. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Make sure that you're eating properly, because another part of that weight gain that I was talking about is because I can't exercise, and exercise, we know, is not 100% or even 90% of your wellness. Most of it is your diet. Make sure that you're eating properly, but it helps when you're able to exercise. And because I can't exercise the way that I want to, I have to be even more careful about the foods that I'm eating, because I'm not going to be able to burn any of those excess calories if I can't exercise. Okay, not saying that exercise is not important, but it is not the end all to be all. But like I said, your diet is. So make sure that you're drinking plenty of water. Okay, I had stepped away from that a little bit too. I used to drink a gallon of water a day. Then I started with half a gallon. So now I have to go back up to making sure that I'm staying hydrated. That's going to be a big part of your healing process as well. And it's going to cleanse a lot of those sugars and salts that are being held in your body. Go ahead and drink your water. Make sure that you are eating properly. Make sure that you are moving. Okay, that is important to your healing too. Even if you're feeling a little bit of discomfort or pain still in your journey, I had a walker that had wheels on it, and I would just walk in a circle around my living room. But I started getting dizzy. That's why I had the little portable treadmill. But you can just take a cane or a walker, borrow one from a elderly family member, because it's only going to be temporary, and then take that and use that to walk around if you need some assistance in being able to move. And again, recruit the people that are there. You'll see in your pre-op paperwork that they say that somebody needs to be with you at least the first 24 to 48 hours to assist you in being able to do the things that you need to do. I bought a grabber, so just in case my husband or my daughter wasn't here, it's the holidays, they're traveling as well. I have a little grabber so I could reach for things that may be a little higher. I'm tall, so everything is up for me. So I had to, make sure I had a grabber so that I can, reach things if I needed to do things. Everything is about being prepared. Sleeping is also a thing. It's difficult to sleep on your back, but I have the pillows, and I'll put the pillow in that I purchased in my description as well. And, I have a wedge that goes under my knees, and I've been sleeping that way. My suggestion is to start practicing with that maybe a week or so before you have your surgery set. That way, in the midst of the pain that you're in, you don't now have to worry about the pain and discomfort of sleeping on your back, because my tailbone was on fire. I have no hips and no rear end, so me laying in that position was painful. Okay, so I made sure that the week before I started getting in the habit of sleeping on my back with my back slightly elevated 30 to 45 degrees, and now it's a little bit more comfortable. Now you may start on the bed. A recliner is a good place to sleep. I found that I've gotten some comfort there. I also have a couch with a built-in recliner, so I've slept down there, and I've just bounced around to see which one works best. And so I'm back in the bed again. I was in the recliner for a couple of days, and now I'm feeling good about sleeping in that position. My body is remembering, oh, we did this last year, so that works out nicely. But that's what you want to do. Again, listen to your body, watch your diet, drink your water. Okay, make sure that you're cleaning yourself, and that if you have any type of bandages or anything like that, that they are staying clean and sterile, and that you're protecting those areas. You're not lifting anything heavier than 10 pounds, and you should be all right with your recovery process. All right, so that's it for now. I think I've talked you guys to death, but I wanted to give you some tips on what I've experienced so far, and let you see what the process has been like for me so far. And I hope that this has been helpful, and if you have any questions, please make sure that you put them in the comments, and I'll be sure to respond back to you as quickly as I can. Okay, so like I said, it's a couple of days before the new year. Happy New Year to you all. I hope that you go into this year in full abundance and in beautiful healing and peace. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to do a video soon that's going to be talking about the preparations as we prepare for going into the new year and decluttering, because that's something that is key and critical, and that's going to help you in your healing process as well. So that's it for now. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Again, please like, follow, share, and subscribe, and make sure that you ask any questions that you have, and I'll look forward to seeing you the next time. And until I do, I say peace.